Well, here we are back again on Night Sounds, Barry and Joe, with our guest, our first guest of the night, Byron Gonzalez, Byron the Curator. Boy, you play some good music. Reprogramar, we played there.
Hope you enjoyed it. I mean, it's a little bit different sounds than you're probably used to, but the rock essence is still in there.
That's what I like. I don't, it's not so much the language is the barrier. It's when there's no guitars, it doesn't speak to me, So I'll rock out to whatever. I don't care what language it is, as long as there's heavy guitar and drums, I'm good with it. So sounds
dude,
great.
I'm on the other side of things. If you show me something I ain't never heard before, and I have to figure out what instrument that is, and I can't like place it, I'm so there.
It's always a didgeridoo. That's always the instrument you can't place, a didgeridoo.
All right. Well, gentlemen, let's talk about radio, okay? I know a lot of you are like, radio, bleh. When was the last time I tuned in? Well, big news has happened. It's not the first time this has happened, but it is the biggest that this has happened because the big radio company Audacy, which owns pretty much more than half of all radio stations around the country, on Sunday, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes, sirree, Bob. Let's hear a little story here. Here's from an official source.
And here's what's on the block.
Audacy, one of the largest radio companies in the U.S., filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on Sunday to reduce its debt load. Through the restructuring agreement, Audacy aims to slash its total debt from around $1.9 billion to approximately $350 million, an 80% reduction. The company's CEO cited macroeconomic challenges like reduced radio and spending over the past 4 years that have severely impacted Audacy's financial condition. Audacy hopes that the process will allow it to significantly reduce its debt burden and put the company on stronger financial footing going forward.
Yes, so that is.
Why does this woman sound like she is speaking in monotone and an AI voice? She was really bad.
She's reading.
Because she might be working for Audacy.
Oh, ow, yeah, she's probably really bad.
I'm going to try to be impartial. I'm going to try to not throw stones and sticks because I used to work for this company, and when I left this company, it was 3 names ago, and they gave me a large chunk of stock options when I left, and I took that. Over time, I may have cashed a few out, but I did have a large portion before Sunday when this went down. So I'm going to try to park all of that anger that I have for Wall Street and the owner of Audacy, who's going to stay there. The president is like, no, we're going to redevelop and we're going to make it balance the ship. And everybody else is saying, you got to go, Buster. Time to get out the door and go out.
Well, so, my thing is, it's okay. It's akin to this last Monday was Black Monday in the NFL. It's like the end of the regular season and the day when all the coaches start getting fired. And it's the same thing. Hey, president of Audacy, you lost the team. No one believes in you anymore. The locker room is not behind you. You got to go, man. You got to go.
Byron, I know that you're shaking your head there because you agree. And, the saddest thing is a lot of radio stations, pull all this garbage out of it because we can talk all day long about stocks and all this, but it's like people's radio stations they grew up listening to are going to go away probably. Or they might get better, they might get worse, but things are going to change a lot.
Yeah.
And you being the independent mind that you are, wanted to pick your brain about it. What do you think could happen? What do you think should happen?
Well, what could happen is like any other business, right? They'll sell off the company and there'll be some major changes. But they should just let it die. Honestly, a little bit like just because you listen to commercial radio and it's so annoying. Like coming from a public radio sector, it's so, how do you call it? Not personal. It's so ingenuine. Type of radio, and I can't stand that. I need somebody with personality. I need a radio station knowing that they are not being influenced by their corporate sponsors.
Well, that's
what I
something.
mean?
That's something Barry and I were actually speaking about. Is the fact that, and this is a point that I was making, and Barry was kind of pushing back, and he can tell you the reasons why. But I feel that a lot of commercial radio stations basically left their community. They went, and like you said, they went to either the big bosses in New York or the big bosses in LA, and they got away from actually servicing and being a part of the community that they are in. And I get it. Talent can be expensive, making content can be expensive, but when you're syndicating all of your programming out of like 3 major urban areas, how does that connect with like the dude in Fresno or, like the guy in Sedona, Arizona or Prescott, like the smaller places, the middle towns or cities in America?
Hold on a second. Joe, you know the dude in Fresno too? Hey, tell him I said what's up, man, because, it's been a while. They lost their cell phone tower a couple of weeks ago. Haven't been able to get in touch with the dude in Fresno. So.
There's only the one dude in Fresno. No, but that's what I'm saying is,
the community's left, man. Yeah, it's totally haywire now because it's not what it used to be. The connection. I think that the word is connection here.
Yeah, they might as well just listen to Spotify because it's like almost the same thing. And like at least on Spotify, you have the option to buy in and get rid of those ads. And I think that's really where they're messing up. Or commercial radio is not. It's just not doing it anymore.
It's just funny, guys, because we're at the end of radio as we know it, and we've been hanging off this cliff for so long. Just like every time a new iPhone 15, 16 comes out, it's like one more step. The Tesla not having AM in it. Oh, what a painful. And now all this tech is happening, On top of it, these guys can't operate the company. And it's falling over on the other side of things. Man, just give away free tickets or do anything different. They're not doing nothing different. So I'm with you. Exactly. Let it die. You got to let it die.
They're not doing innovation. There's no innovation anymore.
Well, Byron, how are you innovating in your independent role on these indie radio stations? How are you connecting more with your community? Because that's something that you do really, really well.
I want to answer for him, and then he can.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Okay, let's see what you have, Barry.
Yeah.
Let's hear your take.
Okay.
Byron the Curator, he goes above and beyond and above what it takes to discover music, not only in the United States of America and the mainland, but other continents of music that creates this soup, this milky, creamy soup of music that is the Latin alt and all of these music put together. You can't hear this anywhere else. It's only here. It's like a cornucopia of sound.
It really is. Yeah. Perfectly said.
The only way that could happen is because you go above and beyond. You go out of your way to discover songs and people, and you connect with these people. You don't have to go through their PR management. Hello, Mr. So-and-so. Might I email your artist? You go right to them. They go right back to you, and then they're friends with you, and they get here. Man, it's all, that's the key, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.
Okay, now you can answer. You can answer.
Well, to add to that perfectly summary of the work, I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that I live in two worlds. I live in America, but essentially my younger self and how I became who I am now lives and is from like Guatemala, Latin America, and just a whole different lived experience and music that I'm exposed to, right? And I mean, it helps that I know the language, but even if I didn't, it's that energy or that passion for showing the world other points of views. So that translates in my music.
Let's prove it to the people again, okay? We did this once before with you got a chance to interview Vanessa. Tell us about Pokemon. First off, did I say Pokemon right?
No, there's a CH in there. Patchy Man. It's in English. Yes. Patchy Man.
Say it again. Patchy Man?
No,
Patchy.
Okay. No
Patchy.
Patchy Man.
Patchy.
Okay, Patchy Man. Who and how?
Well, he's Puerto Rican, but he lives and grew up here in Los Angeles. But when you think of Puerto Rican music, you think, I don't know, there's a certain preconceived notion you have when you're thinking Puerto Rican music. But he's reggae. He is in that reggae dub scene, but also adding Spanish into it, right? And or adding his own style, because he also lives in two worlds, here and in Puerto Rico. So it's that same vibe, that same trying to show everybody a different side of you, that we're not just one person.